Welcome to the Rolling Ridge Nursery virtual tour. We're going to show you a few of the fresh new inventory that's recently arrived at our nursery here in downtown Webster Groves. The small edible fruits have all arrived. This is just kind of a mass grouping of some of the different raspberries that have shown up here at the nursery. We have both a black raspberry, a golden raspberry, and the regular red raspberry variety called Encore. But the exciting news is the new brazzleberries. Brazzleberry is actually a raspberry that can be grown in a container and will produce nice yields of fruit during raspberry season. So make sure you check those out when you come into the nursery. Everything's still pretty dormant looking, so don't expect a lot of lush foliage, but you can certainly see the buds. Things are getting ready to open up here as soon as the weather decides to warm up and become spring. Along with the raspberries, we also have a blueberry. This is one called jelly beans. It's another variety of blueberry that can be container grown and produce nice high heavy yields of fruit later on in the late spring, early summer. So make sure you look for the jelly bean blueberry and the strawberry shortcake raspberry. We have a nice supply of a couple old garden favorites. This, of course, is the common pussy willow. We have some real nice 2-gallon plants in stock whose buds are just starting to swell. The catkins, the fuzzy catkins, are starting to show up just a little bit up and down the branches. These are nice, healthy-looking plants. Pussy willow gets to be a pretty large shrub out in the garden, so make sure you provide some room for it. Check out these hellebores. They're very sharp looking, really nice looking plants for this early in the spring. The Lenten rose is always a popular evergreen perennial. I've got a number of different colors here, and all these plants look very healthy, ready to be put in your garden. Come check them out. This is hellebores. The one rhododendron that does pretty well in the St. Louis region, this is a variety called PJM. It's an early spring bloomer. Lots of good, healthy, juicy buds on these things. Check out those buds. They're going to be opening up real soon. PJM flowers with kind of a lavendery colored flower. In the nice cooler temperatures of the early spring, they tend to persist for several weeks. You're looking at the winter color on these particular plants that did spend the winter right here at Rolling Ridge. We have a nice supply of PJMs in stock right now. Another plant that we get a lot of questions about in the early spring is that orange flowering shrub that's blooming about the same time as forsythia. Well, that's flowering quince. We have this new variety. It's called Double Take Orange Storm. It's a good long blooming plant. There are no sports, no thorns on these particular plants, and they will flower for quite some time on a smaller, more dwarf flowering quince. And they're resistant to leaf drop. They do hold their foliage, and their leaves are kind of nice shiny green throughout the summertime. And as you can see, they're still pretty dormant, but they will be coming along with lots of nice flowers very shortly. This is Double Take Orange Storm Flowering Quince. Our other old-fashioned favorite, one probably lesser known, this one called a pink flowering almond. It is loaded, and I mean loaded, with flower buds. These branches will be just covered in little pink flowers, again, in the early spring. Flowering almond's going to get to be a pretty large shrub, so again, give it some room. But for early spring color, you can't beat it. Again, this is the pink flowering almond. Very exciting newcomer into our stock. This is a little ornamental tree called Little Twist. It's an ornamental flowering cherry. This tree tops out about 6 feet tall, and it'll get about a 6-foot head to it. White to light pink flowers, again, in the early spring, and it will get very nice fall color. We've got some specimens here that are out of sight. They got nice caliper on their standard trunks and nice heads that, again, are just loaded with flower buds. These guys are going to be blooming here very shortly to put on a really nice show. Great small specimen tree for a small kind of limited area in your yard. Come check them out. They do like the sun. We've got a great selection of the Little Girl series of magnolias. Our plants that just arrived here last week are loaded with flower buds. They're going to put on a real nice show here again very soon, whenever the weather decides to break. We're going to have 4 different colors in the Little Girl series. All of them loaded with the nice fuzzy flower buds. As I said, the Little Girl series typically is going to only get about 10 feet tall with a similar spread. 3 of our varieties are more of a bush form, but we also have a very nice selection of the variety Maryland, which is a wonderful standard. Again, you can see the caliper on that trunk. And these Marylands are actually some that have been here, spent the winter here, and they look great. Lots of nice, healthy buds. Just check the buds out on this. They're going to be just spectacular here in another couple weeks. Another early spring favorite, somewhat a native. This is a serviceberry, the variety Autumn Brilliance. Again, they're going to be covered in white flowers here very shortly. We've got specimens, both clump and single stemmed versions, and all of them are very sharp looking. Last spring it got up into the upper 80s in the month of March, and our serviceberry came into bloom and were finished blooming probably within a couple of days. So needless to say, we have a lot of serviceberries left from last year, and they look spectacular. No price increase from last year on these. They look great, loaded with healthy, juicy buds that are again going to be just opening very soon. Look for the white flowers on the serviceberry, I would say in the next couple of weeks. Come check them out. And once again, these are our Autumn Brilliant serviceberries. These are the clump specimens that we have in stock. Lots of nice healthy buds, really good shape on the specimens that we have. Nice and healthy. We've gotten a lot of boxwood in already this year. Boxwood's probably our biggest selling plant. They're just so adaptable and so versatile. Lots of different varieties that we will stock throughout the spring season. This is one that's really caught our eye. These are some larger Green Mountain boxwood, which is a columnar growing variety. And these are spectacular specimens that we received a couple weeks ago. Nice and full and fat. Good color and good shape on these things. Healthy looking boxwood. Again, the variety Green Mountain. If you're looking for a holly that's a little bit smaller growing than the old American holly or the Foster holly, we've got a very good selection here called Centennial Girl. Centennial Girl will top out in the 12 to 15 foot range. Again, kind of has a tapered shape to it. We'll get the red berries. And these plants are very healthy, 10-gallon, stand a good 4 feet, between 4 and 5 feet tall. Very healthy looking plants, nice looking specimens. And we will have larger ones too very soon showing up here at the nursery. But these are pretty spectacular for the size they are. Again, it's Centennial Girl Holly. This is one of our favorite new Japanese maples that has shown up on the scene recently. This is a variety called Ryusen. Very cool green leaf variety. It basically grows straight up and then sort of weeps over itself. So it's another great choice for a narrow spot or a limited area. Nice green foliage will have kind of a reddish tinge on the margins of the leaves as they leaf out this spring. And then in the fall, the color on that foliage will turn a bright, brilliant orange. Just a spectacular tree. Again, a great choice for a smaller situation where there's not a lot of room for something to spread. These are going to go fast, folks, so come check them out because they're pretty nice looking specimens. Again, it's a Japanese maple, variety Ryusen. Our azaleas just showed up. We sell a lot of azaleas over the course of the spring. Everything's still tight in bud, so obviously no color as of yet. But as you see azaleas blooming around town, the ones that we have here will be probably starting to bloom then too. We've got probably 12 to 15 different varieties of different colors, and they're all looking nice and healthy and loaded with flower buds. Good looking plants and at a good price. Come check them out. Nice healthy looking stock, and we will carry azaleas pretty much through the summertime. Another exciting new plant to hit the market of recent years is the bloomerang lilac. These are all still looking pretty dormant, but they are nice chunky plants, and they're going to fill out very nicely this spring, and they are loaded with flower buds. I would expect these to start flowering in probably 2 to 3 weeks, depending on what the weather does. The neat thing about bloomerang is they flower in the spring, and then they come back and bloom again in the late summer, early fall. And they do that. It's a dwarf plant, only going to top out in the 4-foot range, maybe a little better. And as like any other lilac, they want to be out in the sun. Again, this is the lilac bloomerang. We just unloaded about a week ago some magnificent 6 to 7 foot tall green giant arborvitae. This is the one evergreen that has been coming through our hot summers pretty well. I've had very few issues with them over the last couple hot and dry summers. These 6 to 7 footers are especially nice. They're containerized, so they're easy to handle. Just a good looking tree. We've got a pretty good supply of them as we speak. However, they will go fast. So come and check them out soon. If you're looking for a nice, big, faster growing hedge type evergreen, this is a great choice. And again, these are spectacular. This is green giant arborvitae. We also have some nice 4 to 5 footers in stock. Good supply of those as well.